Alrighty. Hello there, everybody, and we are back. And you can tell there's a lot of people in here, but I am Shane Sherman. I'm your co-host. I'm your host today, not co-host. And today we're talking about Star Wars Celebration, and I'm joined by my co-host as well, Chief. But we got 3 guest stars with us today, and happy to have you all here. But first, we're just going to go through the list. To my right over here, I believe, so everybody else's screen, we got John right here. Say hi, John.
Hello.
And our next guest star is going to be Ken over here.
Hi, my pronouns are they, them.
And then we have our next co-host, and we have our next guest star here, Ava.
Hello.
You've seen Ava before, but John and Ken are new, so say hi to them. And if all goes well, then maybe they'll stay on. But we'll see what happens.
We don't know. Maybe.
We'll have to find out.
Maybe. You have to find
I don't know. I could easily be replaced.
Yeah.
This is very
No,
simple.
what are you talking about?
I could very easily be replaced.
Don't sell yourself short.
Just
Keith. Come on.
look at Shane and just be
You
like,
cannot be replaced. What are
yeah,
you talking about?
yeah.
There is only one chief.
Exactly.
Alrighty, folks. We have a very, very exciting episode today. Me and Chief had something completely planned different for today, and then Star Wars Celebration hit me in the face. And I had to redo everything. I had to do a lot of research. But we've done our research. All of us have. We've all done some slight, maybe major research on certain things. But we're happy to have you here, and we're here to share the new updates of Star Wars Celebration. Maybe do some reviews on some of these new things as well. But let's just get right into it. And personally, we got to talk about the big one. You know, the big one, obviously, today that everybody's happy we got, and I think we're all in agreement to talk about it right now. Ahsoka teaser trailer, amazing teaser trailer. But let's get right into this. You know, I think since I introduced John and Chief first, they don't get to go first. You know, I think we're gonna start off with the ladies. We're gonna start off with the ladies today. Alrighty. So, Ken, tell us your thoughts. What
Ladies.
Sorry, they them. There you go. That was my bad.
I'm excited to see Ahsoka, mainly because Ahsoka's fighting style is very unique, and that is something that I'm really excited to see more of on the big screen and live action. Yeah. That's my take.
Ava?
I don't know.
I've been waiting for this for so long, and now we finally get to see her in live action. Ken said, her fighting style is so amazing, and to see that on the big screen is just going to be so gorgeous.
Alrighty. Now, gentlemen, we can finally get to talk. All right. I'll move to John first because Chief, me and you can't share the light always. Chief, John, you get to go first.
All right. So, in my opinion, the Ahsoka show, a lot of people have been waiting for it. I am somewhat a fan of it, and I liked how they did the trailer, especially when they're bringing back so many characters from like Rebels and from Clone Wars and a bunch of all those other characters across the Star Wars universe. And I'm just very excited to see the future on how the Ahsoka show will progress from start to the end.
All right, Chief, you finally get to talk.
I have 2 words. 3 words. Sabine fucking Wren. Yes! I've been waiting so long for this. Oh my god.
So,
I spit all over my computer screen. Oh no.
Okay.
Nasty.
Okay. So my thoughts for this.
God. I'm sorry.
Okay. So my thoughts for the Ahsoka TV show, very, very, very exciting stuff we're getting here today. And it's all very interesting, in my opinion, what direction the show can go, where we can be going with this. They threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting some of the things that we got, which I'm actually very excited for because I like to be thrown for a loop. Mandalorian has done that to me. I've been thrown for a loop constantly throughout that show now. And I'm very excited to see where this show will go. So let's dive into it now. Now I will say this to everybody who's watching us: we're not going to do a full deep analysis review, all that good stuff. If you do want to go check that out, I believe Sundari Broadcast System, our co-boys on this show, will be doing their own reviews and breakdowns, Easter eggs on the trailer. We'll be just talking about our general thoughts and all of that before we go into major stuff and the direction of the show. So I think the first thing I want to talk about is me and Chief. Chief immediately DM'd me when we both got done watching that trailer, and he just goes, "You were right," and I'm so happy because me and Chief have been constantly talking about this. Heir to the Empire trilogy, very excited, and I hope they do it right. I believe that I don't hope. I know they're going to do it right. I'm not going to have the expectations of a fan like most people do of like they need to have everything down to the last detail right about Heir to the Empire. No. All I care about is really you're doing Thrawn, you're doing Heir to the Empire. Just give me good Thrawn content from Heir to the Empire. That's what I want, But let's just everybody, you get your thoughts out now. I'm not going to go through the list anymore. Just let's have a conversation.
Snowballing off of the Thrawn thing. If they follow the book, which I've heard is very good, I have not read it myself, but if they follow the book, hey Shane, I'm getting there. Listen, it's in my Audible. It's in my Audible right now. I literally just spent a credit on it, probably 5 minutes before this.
He just goodbye.
But I've heard it's very good. If they follow that book, it will go stupendously. Also, once again,
Are you going great? This podcast is starting off great.
This podcast is starting off fantastic.
Yes.
Are you good?
Excited to see the return of Harrison Dula, Sabine Wren, Chopper. Oh my God, Chopper! Like we got probably a second and a half of just Chopper, and I was like, "This is gonna be fun."
That droid is going to fuck shit up and do so many crimes.
It's going to kick ass and take names.
Yes, that.
It's gonna be good. Oh God, what else? Two possibly new Jedi / Sith / Gray Jedi, possibly. We don't know.
We don't know.
With
no
semi-red lightsabers, they were.
I'll say personally,
as Shane said earlier, they were probably like blood orange or something like that.
Personally, gonna say I don't think Gray Jedi will exist.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to be a Gray Jedi.
I think you either have Jedi like Qui-Gon Jinn, one with the Force, all that good stuff, or Dark Jedi,
Yeah.
But
Well, but then explain the lightsaber that Rey got at the end of whatever that movie was called, because I can't remember.
But see, she was never dark side.
Yeah,
you have to fully embrace the dark side of the Force, and then be like, "Oh, this is wrong." To be like, "Hey, I'm a
Wasn't Rey's yellow?
Yeah,
Rey's was yellow.
It is yellow.
But that is a whole other thing that we gotta talk about, like in another thing, because I don't want to get too off track of this. But that's a whole other thing that we need to talk about, because I got a whole case for that stuff. But also, what's it called? Like, I'm thinking for these guys, they are dark, but they're not like all the way dark, because that might explain like why their lightsabers are a unique kind of color, like in the mix of red and like the orange.
Well, if I could,
most likely Empire though.
If I could add on to that, so I don't know if they're gonna stick to it, but orange is a very interesting lightsaber color in my opinion, and if they stick with the continuity of what orange lightsabers mean, I don't know if it's recently changed again, but orange lightsabers either mean you're pure light or you're pure dark.
Yeah.
I actually looked it up, and it said that, it meant that a delicate, a balance, has been struck with light and dark.
Okay.
That's what I've read.
So they're
delicate. So
they probably changed again. The continuity changed
right
again.
in the middle.
Yeah.
So off that note, sorry. Go ahead.
I was only saying, these are possibly this is the most that we might see of a grayish kind of Force user.
Yeah.
But
I think, like I said as well, I don't think you can have Gray Jedi in the Star Wars universe because they've been legendized completely now.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I would love to see Gray Jedi, but I'm more leaning to this is either a very light Sith or this is a dark Jedi.
Yeah.
Which it could be either one. If it's Gray Jedi, then I'm wrong and Ava was right.
So
good job.
I don't know if
I was right about the thing with the clone lady. So
Okay, but that one I just didn't notice.
not-
Okay.
it was obvious.
I'm not too sure about this. I'm diving deep into my banks in my mind of Star Wars knowledge.
Deep in the archives.
Yeah, didn't
Deep in
Plo
those
Koon
Jedi.
at one time have an orange lightsaber?
Yes.
Yes, he did. So
He
just
did.
for everybody to understand
So-
what we're talking about, I'm just gonna also share it. No, that's not it. That's it. There you can.
Nice
Yellow.
Spotify ad, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Red or
I
orange?
think it looks very orange.
It
It
does
does.
look very
That's
orange,
100%
but that could
very
also
orange.
just be like the camera messing
Yes.
with
No.
us.
Yes.
No. Like no.
Not exactly.
Because like what's it called? Like if you look like at a side by side comparison of like of like a red lightsaber like that we've seen like in the live action, and then that is absolutely a different color.
It is.
Okay.
It would
It is
have
100%
to
a
be.
different color.
Yeah, because I'll even pull up the trailer again, and I just mute it, and we can just go through that lovely thing again.
Like I
Let's
know
get to
because
the-
like the
There's
third
a
ones is actually
thing that I
red,
have.
and
yeah,
like in
so
the other two is obviously a different color.
Yeah, gotta go. Keep going.
right here.
Right there.
So
Oh,
I would agree with you with
Attractive
camera angle,
woman
but
to
this is
say.
very orange.
That's very
Oh,
That's
yeah.
orange.
very orange.
That is absolutely orange. Oh, look at that! Look at
Look
her!
at the.
Oh my gosh!
Look
If
at her
we
go.
go
Look at
back
that
a few
hottie. Look at her go.
frames, if we go back a few frames, look at the hilt. It's very
Wait,
very
actually,
long.
It's very
it
Very
is.
bold.
Kanan Jarrus.
And
It's
Kanan
very,
Jarrus.
very Kanan
Yes.
Jarrus. Especially
Also-
with the circular hilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives me a lot of Kanan Jarrus vibes, Caleb Doom vibes, whatever you call them.
Huh.
Yeah, like you said, it is very long. It's a very like what's the word to describe that?
Crazy.
Stupendously over exaggerantly
Hilt.
long.
Yeah.
It could
yeah.
indicate that maybe it's a dual-bladed lightsaber.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
like that's true.
Like,
Well,
you know
for sure.
how like Darth Maul's lightsaber hilt is long for that specific
yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
will-
or like with
That
many
makes
long
sense.
swords that I've used, because it's kind of my area of expertise. Sabers, swords, that area. Two hands.
Two hands.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, wait,
I
Shane,
will note
could you go
in
back to when like she's just there, like in the space and does not like in everything? Yeah. The outfit. Look at that.
10
Look
out
at
of
that.
10. 10 out of 10.
It's a nice.
I love
Dude.
attractive women. Sorry.
I
I
will
love a good villain. I love a hot female villain.
Me
I'm
too.
just
I
gonna say
will
that.
say throwing
Oh,
this
sorry.
out there.
Ooh.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
Crap. That's orange.
That is
Yes.
orange.
That's
Well,
very
look at
orange.
that hilt.
Oh.
It's so much
Where's
more
the red?
different than
I remember.
uh,
That's a
than
very
hers.
Well, I need
that
a better
gives me
very
very
different.
High
Look at
Republic era.
That's right.
That is
Like
red,
like
yes.
that's absolutely red.
That's 100% right.
That's definitely Inquisitor. You could obviously tell
Jaro
from the hills.
Tapal from the games, the Lasat Jedi that trained
Count Kestis.
Cal Kestis.
Mm-hmm.
His lightsaber hilt is very, very long, but
Yes.
that's only because Lasats are gigantic beings within the Star Wars universe.
True.
You
And
could also say that with the that Wookiee Jedi from Bad Batch season 2, and he was in Clone Wars.
Gunji?
Gundy.
Gundy.
Because his is
You
also
stopped at my
very.
favorite frame.
Because you gotta remember also his
Her hair is
hilt
so pretty.
very
God damn
huge.
it.
It is. Look at her. Oh, she's just so gorgeous.
Just things are getting
Chief's
hot
taking
in
a
here.
quick
Sorry.
picture. Taking a
Sorry.
quick
No,
picture.
no, no. I had to check
I'm
my
sorry.
phone. I got an email. Sorry.
We'll just leave this right here. But
That's
So-
Fall.
yeah, so thought. So
In Ezra's house tower thing.
Yeah, that's Ezra's place.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which, we finally get to see a Loth cat in live action.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
So cute.
Hang on.
Excuse me.
This one. This I found a link that breaks everything down scene by scene, but we're not going to go into that. It's this is all that I wanted
No,
to share.
he's so
It's
cute.
just a love cat.
I always thought they were so weird look. The first time I saw a love cat, I thought they were so weird looking.
Same.
That's just adorable though.
Yeah, because we have it. It's
It's so fluffy.
Right there.
Look at him.
Aw,
He's
kitty.
so fluffy.
So blue. I want to poop the snoot.
I don't know if you could tell. I love cats.
he's a fair war criminal.
Chopper.
Yeah.
There's Chopper.
He is a war criminal. He is.
Chopper's the only good war criminal in Star Wars.
The
Yeah.
only good war criminal.
But we're here to
Yes.
talk
That
about
is your
that.
opinion.
That is my opinion, because Anakin Skywalker is also a war criminal.
So
True.
I just want
Hmm.
to state this. As
Schman,
much-
Schmadmiral, Schmon.
Schman, yeah.
Man, Schman,
God,
Schman.
Man, schman, mo, schmon.
So I am so
That man
happy,
got taste.
so happy that they're doing this because we're gonna. We'll go into we'll segment into this later. But like, if they're doing Thrawn like how a CW show does like a giant crossover events, you know, this is the guy to do it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the perfect character. to set
Mando,
up.
okay.
Mando and this could go side by side, 100%.
I don't think this
True.
is a topic that no one is really talking about, and I get why. But Heir to the Empire technically has Palpatine running around as well
It's true.
with
That
the
is
Eclipse Star Destroyer.
True.
And that entire fleet of
Yes, because we have to because canon and continuity wise,
Mhm.
Imperial ships just disappear for no reason.
that makes no sense.
So
Yeah,
where
that
did they
doesn't make
go?
any sense.
So
Nobody
Wasn't
needs
it
to
that-
know.
That entire fleet was the fleet to defend against the people who use force beings for fuel.
no, you're
Um,
talking about no. The Yuzon Bond invasion. No,
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
My bad. My bad.
no.
My bad. I thought you had said something about that. My bad.
Yeah, but no. So Imperial ships. Sorry, I just gotta say this real quick. New Republic's an idiot for dismantling their fleet.
Okay, bye, Shane.
Okay, bye, Shane. To continue what he was going to say, the New Republic is very stupid for disassembling an entire fleet of Star Destroyers.
They
Agreed.
are. They are like
They could
Star
use
they
them.
could use them
Destroyers.
exactly.
They have so many Imperial logs and everything, like that, that
Like,
they
oh my
could have
gosh,
just
they
used
use
them.
the information.
It's
Oh.
they have so many manuals that they could have used. It's like you kind of got to think of it as post World War II America,
Right.
kind of.
That
They had
I see
so
where you're
many-
getting with that.
I'm
Yeah.
a gigantic history nerd. I
Yeah,
apologize.
me too.
Now you're good.
But so many manuals were running around and things. They had surplus stores where they were selling helmets for 5 cents a piece.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Damn.
Now a helmet, a good like quality helmet for reenacting is upwards of $200 to $300.
Mhm.
Or probably would just go in a museum.
Yep.
The
That's-
museums will pay
That's
tons of
that's
money
a
for that.
different. I have my own opinion on that. I won't share it now. I'll share it later after we're out of the podcast.
Fair
But they're stupid for dismantling an entire fleet of Star Destroyers.
They
They
are.
could have just used.
And may I just say that this new Republic is just stupid in general?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
What's it called? Like they
very
took
honest.
everything that Luke and Leia and Han and like what's his face?
Chewbacca.
The other ones. Like him, like and the other one. Lando.
Lando.
Yes. They took everything they took everything they fought for. Like just kind of went and threw it out the window.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
Mhm.
what
Yeah.
are they doing? It's like they are like a poorly executed version of the like
Yeah.
of the Empire. That's like, hey, we're good. We swear. Absolutely.
They're a bunch of rebels and anarchists who have no idea what to do with the vacancy of power that they created. So they just like throw in whoever the hell is like, hey, I can do it. I can do it.
The
And then
simplest
they
way
just
to
like,
put it.
okay, yeah, we'll leave that up to you. Cool. Just don't fuck up anymore.
The
They
simplest
should
way to
have
put
let
it.
Leia lead. Like,
Yes, I agree.
It's
Leia
an
should have been
empire
leading.
rebuilt. It's an empire rebuilt, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, and
It's just
but it's worse.
an empire with blue paint.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Blue and orange paint.
Yeah.
exactly. And
You're right.
like, I'm
Except
like,
stupider and has no control of the galaxy.
Yeah.
no, because like what's it called? Like again, they should have let Leia, Luke, and Han lead.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
they didn't. That's where they messed up.
Leia would have been a good leader because she actually grew up like among politicians. She knew how to
She's a
handle
princess.
politics. She's a princess.
She's a princess.
She's used to that kind of life. She knows how it
Exactly.
kind of works.
Exactly,
Well-
but then like everyone else is just like, what do we do? We're confused.
I do think I know the reason why she's not in a leadership role for the New Republic is because, so if you play the Battlefront 2 campaign, she's on Naboo, and that people are claiming that she's the queen now of Naboo.
Naboo.
That's probably why she's not
Wait, really?
around. Yeah, because if you play Battlefront
Oh.
2, in the campaign, she's on Naboo when they're there's like an Empire thing where they're like trying to get them all out of there because there's still a little bit of resistance trying to claim Naboo for what's left of the Empire. And when they're taking it back, Leia is on Naboo, and then the theory is to that, or what a lot of people have been saying is she became the new queen of Naboo because she was the daughter of Padme Amidala because she was a queen for Naboo.
I hope that that's true because I would love that.
We also have to remember that on Naboo, the queen is an elected position. It's
Yeah,
not
that's what I was
it's
saying.
not
So she
it's
wouldn't
not
be
a-
there for like all that time period.
Yeah.
At some point, she probably would have been like forced to step down because that's how democracy tends to work.
Yeah.
And that's probably what happens, but it's probably at the moment, like, she might have been there until, because you know how, like, in the Rise of Skywalker, how there's the scene where she's being trained by Luke and stuff like that, and then when she stepped down, maybe after that time, like, when she's at Naboo, she figures out her Force abilities, then she steps down and gets trained by Luke. Maybe that's how it went. Because she didn't know right away, because she might have thought she had the Force but didn't fully understand it. So then what happened was she went to be the queen of Naboo. Eventually, when time goes on, she steps down and then goes to get trained by Luke.
That raises another question that I've been thinking over. How would Rey be as a teacher?
Garbage.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
thinking. So, like, how would
Had no
Rey be able to
training.
build this new Jedi Order if she's such an amateur?
She can't. That's the thing.
can't,
She
yeah.
can't. She has. She's never been taught anything except for like that bit like that she spent with Luke. But that's not enough to train a whole new generation of Jedi.
No.
Exactly. And Leia does not probably hardly has enough teaching to really be able to get her to learn much. She has very limited knowledge on the Force itself and very limited knowledge in terms of lightsaber combat and skills.
Exactly.
Jedi
like,
from the
got lucky.
prequel had like an entire archive that they could like use as a resource, and so many other Jedi masters and experience opportunities that they could learn from. Rey had none of that.
Exactly.
How's she gonna build a new Jedi Order? Luke had a better opportunity than Rey ever possibly could.
Exactly. And,
Unless she could commune with the dead, maybe then she'd have a chance.
Like, I doubt that. No.
I don't think that's possible.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
something to get back to on the Ahsoka series trailer.
Yes.
I have a picture of it on my phone. I'm very excited that they brought David Tennant back as this droid for
Yes,
the Ahsoka
I
show.
agree.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, that makes me so happy. Like, oh.
Especially for like his first live adaptation. Like this droid has been seen in Clone Wars, He was never shown in live action ever until the Ahsoka trailer
Until
came
now.
out.
Yep.
It's exciting. I'm glad that they're bringing in all these characters from the Clone Wars and other like animated like shows, and they're like properly representing them in live action. It's giving them more screen time.
Sabine!
Sabine!
Syndulla!
My queen!
Sabine!
Queen.
I
Sabine
would
the
not
queen.
be surprised. I would not be surprised if somebody goes out and gets a Sabine tattoo.
I for sure, yes.
I wouldn't be
Or like
surprised
goes out and
if
dyes
there's
their hair
already-
like Sabine.
Like, I
But-
want to do that. Not gonna lie.
Okay.
I totally would.
They
Her
also
hair is
did. That would make sense if
such a
someone
cool color
did do a Sabine tattoo, because when Rogue One came out, there was a guy that got Jyn Erso as a tattoo on his leg.
All right.
Oh yeah, I
Okay,
saw
all
this.
right.
I
Alright.
saw this.
Get ready for this. I love you
Oh.
all. But we're moving past Ahsoka now.
All
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
That's
I was just
I
about to
feel like
say,
we've been on
hey,
this topic for a while. We just
let's-
we
yeah.
dipped a little bit into like Rey rebuilding
Death.
that I
We,
ordered.
we went a little
Yeah.
too in depth.
Yeah.
So,
super cool.
Yeah,
Super cool.
so like we went.
Let's,
Next, what do we
so-
have up on the docket, Shane?
so I wanted to do this one, and there's a reason why I wanted to do this one, because it was going to be a perfect transition from the Thrawn stuff to this one, and it's an easy one to go out the way. For all of you that do not know or have not caught up yet with everything, like Ken.
Good drop.
Ooh.
Good drop of your phone.
Yeah.
Also,
no, I dropped my ring. But
I got a new phone case.
nice.
No.
But
Protect and
but
protect the forest. Yes.
but
Get you bucks.
Oh,
It's awesome.
But the big thing that we have to talk about here is Dave Filoni's been greenlit and confirmed to write and produce the endgame version of the Mandoverse. And for those that do not
got the
know,
poster. Got the poster.
for those that do not know the Mandoverse, our Mandoverse consists of a couple things here. It consists of one, we have Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, and Skeleton Crew, and the other shows that they could possibly release or could happen during the time of this show being written, produced, and all that good stuff. Because we don't know what's going to happen. They've drop bomb on us out of nowhere the Book of Boba Fett, you know? So they could easily drop bomb on us, maybe like a Bo-Katan Kree show, you know?
Could I throw something out here?
Yes.
Rebel season 5.
Yes, there's a bunch of stuff that they can drop bomb on us before we even get to the Endgame Mandoverse show that Dave Filoni's been greenlit through, and this has been confirmed by Kathleen Kennedy. But I think why this is very exciting, because if they're calling it the Endgame version of the style, well, one, we know what happens in Endgame, and two,
Oh
and
no.
two,
Someone's
And
gonna
two.
die.
and two, Thrawn's obviously going to be the big bad. He's the heir to the Empire. He's a tactical genius, and that's what makes Thrawn so good. Because in Heir to the Empire, Thrawn almost dismantles the New Republic completely, and that's the big takeaway here. You know,
I mean, at this point, I mean, though, at this point, it's not that hard to do. At this point,
Yeah.
they all kind of
Yeah, it's kind of been leading up to that, anyways.
They could do it themselves.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
They're doing it themselves.
they are doing it themselves.
Or the
Yeah.
crazy idea theory is that Thrawn helps build the First Order.
Ooh,
That would be
I
an
can
interesting
see that.
take, in my
Like,
opinion.
that
yeah.
that would be an interesting take.
So there's a couple
Ooh.
things that are going on here, but if it is going to be considered the Endgame version, Ahsoka either dies at the end of her own show or she's
Oh, yeah.
dying in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry
to
because
say,
we're coming to
and-
the end of
And,
Ahsoka's.
and
That's
it-
probably
We
what
don't
the
need
case
to
will be.
see her death on screen. We don't need
and
it.
I just hope that if she does die, they do her death justice. Like,
Oh,
give her
She
a
has to.
give her the death that she deserves.
I think
Exactly.
Ahsoka should. I don't think Ahsoka either dies to Thrawn or she just becomes one with the Force.
Like Luke did.
One with the
Yeah.
Force is kind of
Huh.
like a crappy move for Ahsoka, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mainly
Like,
because-
she's more of a, she's more of a
If
fighter.
imagine
than-
this,
Die,
imagine
she's gonna
this.
go down
No.
fighting. That
Imagine
much I know
this.
for sure.
Imagine
Oh,
this. It's basically at the end of the film, you know, battle's won, all of that's over, and you just see Anakin at the end go, "It's time,"
Yes.
and she agrees,
Yes.
and she
That's what I was
disappears.
just about to say.
Oh, that
That's-
would be good. That would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah. My God. Like that'll
Because just
be.
imagine that sequence. So like it's like
Some
if
Mufasa.
you've seen the deleted scenes in Endgame, if you've seen the deleted scenes in Endgame, there's that scene like after Tony does the snap, he goes into that like illusion area and then sees a future like grown up version of his daughter Morgan Stark.
Oh my
But
god.
like,
That
what if
exists?
like
That
when
exists?
she
Yeah.
yeah, deleted scene.
I needed it.
Why did they delete that?
I don't know.
Right now. I'm looking this up.
It's just you. I have no
Like
idea.
they got rid of so many things like that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
been
I
done.
mean, they deleted the scene of
Like the kneeling.
The kneeling. I think they should have kept that.
They took the scene or concept out of Thanos bringing Captain America his own head, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
What?
But
Yeah.
what happens is what I feel like because of that deleted scene. Imagine this. So like what Shane was saying, Anakin says it's that time, and then he says like it's that time snips, or it goes like this. Anakin she dies fighting and kills Thrawn. The movie's coming to an end. She got hit, like maybe she got shot or something like that by Thrawn, and like we didn't see it. And then what happens is she goes into this like dream state where it's Anakin telling her it's that time that you have to be one with the Force and join the rest of us.
You know, could you
goes off into the Force.
Wait, can
she's gonna pull a world between worlds again.
Yeah,
that would make sense too.
Wait, I want to piggyback off of John. If that happens, imagine Anakin being like, "It's time to come home," and it's Obi-Wan, Plo, Yoda.
I'm gonna cry.
I will cry. I will
I'm
cry.
gonna
It
cry.
takes a lot for me to cry, but I'm pretty sure I will cry.
And what if, like, to put the cherry on top, like, just like for that scene, like you were saying, where you see Plo, Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin. What if, like, she doesn't know one of them? Like, it's Qui-Gon Jinn. She didn't know much about Qui-Gon Jinn. Like, there were stories that were told, but then then she starts to make a connection on like learning more about Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's in that scene. And like you see from the progressed generation after generation, so you see Anakin, Obi-Wan's father figure, Ahsoka's father figure, and then the father figure of all of them. I feel like that would be a great scene.
I think it has to be 4. If they do that, it has to be 4. It has to be Yoda, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Plo.
Yeah.
The only reason why Plo is included in this, no disrespect to my main man Plo, because Plo's Bros is my favorite thing of all time. But Plo Koon was the one who went and got her.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Off of her home planet.
Yeah, he's like, and he was like a father figure there.
Yes. Yes. And Plo was very big in her life. So that's why I think Plo Koon has to be included in that
shot. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see a scene where Plo Koon isn't in it.
Yeah.
I could.
It could just be Anakin, you know?
Yeah, it could.
Oh yeah.
But once again, I'm gonna say my iconic line, we don't know.
But
we don't.
The thing is, if they do just
it at
Anakin,
least has to have Anakin that much though.
I don't think it gives it justice because you have like Ewan McGregor who's come back to play Obi-Wan. So it makes sense if you put Obi-Wan in as well. Because then it's like, because she also considered somewhat Obi-Wan as a father figure as well.
Yeah.
And then considered Anakin as a brother figure. So that would also somewhat make sense.
Yeah. But like,
like you go ahead first.
No, but like, so, I'm gonna steal the show if I say this entire thing. So you should go.
All right. Like what's called is that one of y'all were talking about the world between worlds, and I was like, wait, was like ASDs. Like I was like, if Ahsoka has to go, I wonder if like she would like go through and go back to where like Anakin accepts her like as his Padawan, and she goes back there to watch that happen.
Okay.
One more time before she goes back with him like into the Force.
I like that.
If that happens, I'm gonna throw a wrench into this. If that happens, the sister would have to be standing right next to her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have to, either in owl form or in her corporeal form, which is big, tall lady.
But just imagine that she like a shot, and she's just kind of going through like the hallways and everything, and she turns and sees like Anakin talking to her and being like, like you're a reckless one. Like, and he says the full line, and she just stands there like, and then she dies.
Oh, you're saying like when he says, "You're
I
like
don't think
reckless one, little one. You wouldn't make
Mhm.
it as Obi-Wan's Padawan."
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you
you
might
would make
make
it as mine.
She can't
Yep,
die there.
exactly.
She can't die in that scene because if she dies in that scene, she breaks the timeline. Because if she like her robes and lightsabers drop, someone's gonna pick them up.
Like an old,
Good
like an old, like,
point.
what's it
Good
called?
Would she
Like,
point.
be in like
Or we get a combination of both.
Ooh.
We get
like flash?
she's fighting. We get her in the end of that fight. She has that moment where she sees Anakin. She passes, but then we lose her body in the fight. What happened?
What did you do?
What did you
just
do?
happened?
Okay,
Hello?
there
We
we
lose
go.
her body in the fight. Either like a building comes down or the ship goes down. Her body's not gonna be able to be recovered by the end of it. That's how I imagine this.
Yeah.
When I say she goes down fighting, I mean she goes down.
Oh
Personally,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I think just from how films do it a lot, I could see the classic send off of like, it's time to come home, Anakin scene, and she like kind of looks back and Ezra's maybe there and all of them are there, and they just kind of like, Ezra knows it's her time, he can feel in the Force, and she just goes, you know.
We could also think of when she does this. If that
No.
even happens, she switches with Ezra in the World Between Worlds. In the Thrawn throw scene where the Purgles like go, I could totally see her yanking Ezra out and putting herself in so that the timeline is like semi better for Sabine's case like that. I'm not saying it could be like better for everybody. It'd be better for like Sabine and the entire crew of the Ghost. And I could see Zeb not leaving for the New Republic with that either.
I got one thing just to kind of like somewhat add on to what we were saying before for like Ahsoka's death. What if it's like, do you guys remember the episodes in season 6 where it was like Yoda trying to conquer his dark side?
Yes.
And you remember the scene? You haven't seen that?
I haven't finished.
You gotta watch that. It's
I
so
know.
good.
Spoilers for a show that came out in 2012.
It's fine. I don't care anymore. Shut up.
But you remember that scene where like it's it's all the Jedi and then like Count Dooku's there and then he like it shows that Count Dooku became a Sith, right? Like he's accepting the fact that he can't bring his Padawan back. What if it's like that? Like in her death sequence, she's walking to the temple and sees every one of the like all those Force ghosts, like all the Jedi, in like that sequence. Like it's basically them welcoming her back in open arms, saying like, "You have become one with the Force. We would like to take you back into the Jedi Order." And then like they take her and she dies.
Hang on.
Mind you, I want to say this actually real quick.
Go.
John actually brings up an amazing point. Ahsoka said she's not ready, especially like.
Sorry, live.
Okay. But Ahsoka even says during the Siege of Mandalore, she's not ready yet. She's like when Yoda asked her, like when she says, "I did my duties as a civilian," he goes, "Not as a Jedi," and she goes, "Not yet." She hasn't reclaimed herself as a Jedi yet this entire time. At
And
the
she
end,
does in that scene.
at the end, it can be her reclaiming her as a Jedi.
I'm gonna throw one more thing out. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
This is taking way too long. I'm sorry. What did they do with Barriss?
That
Is
is
she
a
an
good
Inquisitor
question.
now?
Wait.
What
Is
happened?
she an Inquisitor now?
Wait.
I don't know.
You bring a great point.
What if the Inquisitor in the trailer is Barriss? Oh my god.
That would make sense.
That would make so much sense.
That would make a lot of sense.
She'd be like 50 years old, but it could happen.
Palpatine didn't kill her. 100%.
No. Oh my god!
But with that,
I
so
have no input
if this
into
film does happen, there's not a lot to say on it. It's been just a confirmed title, not really a title. It's been just confirmed one sentence that is happening. So this is gonna take the next 4 years. So don't get too hyped around it just yet, but start building the hype for it.
2027?
This
28?
Yeah, this is a big.
Graduate college. Oh my god.
This is insane.
This will be
Oh my
about the
God,
time
wait,
I'm
I was
almost done with my
graduating
military
college.
contract.
Yeah, I'll graduate college in 2028.
Yeah,
I
but basically-
graduate in 2027.
But yeah, basically the entire idea behind this all is for this to happen, it is going to basically, in consideration, be the end of the
Yes,
Skywalker era.
it has to be.
It has to be.
They need to stop beating this dead horse.
They really do.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
find
but it is.
but here's the thing.
Find new characters.
I agree
Yeah.
with them. I agree with them, but like, I'm still down for like Imperial era type stuff as well because those shows have been good. Andor, phenomenal.
Yes, please. Can we talk about Andor? Because
Yeah.
that show gets like little to no hype. People have been sleeping on that show for the longest time, but it's so well done.
Let's get ready for this because we're not going to transition to that just yet, Ken. But you're on the right track. But we're going to transition to
I
the
like
next big thing. As we're
Sorry,
done,
I threw a
we're
question in
gonna-
the chat. I'm sorry.
we're gonna
I'm
be-
gonna be quiet.
we're going to be done with this. Moving on because it is big. It's big news to talk about that we're getting the film for the Mandoverse besides Skeleton Crew. But the next big thing that we all need to be talking about, which it's a topic already, big boy topic, let's move right into this. James Mangold to direct the first film about the first Jedi set 25,000 years before the events.
Okay.
I would love to see that.
I want
Star
to
Wars.
throw a wrench into this because not many people have seen this show because it's a very not talked about show on Disney Plus. It's a Lego Star Wars series, The Freemaker Adventures.
And that's when we don't have to. That's when we don't talk about Chief anymore. He's done for the day. He's done for the day. We're gonna now discuss about this, and we're not gonna talk about it.
This is what happens when we get off topic.
No.
Okay, I had a point to make in that.
Oh,
But
do
okay.
you? I know. Don't do it. Say it one more time.
The Kyber.
Okay.
The kind.
What?
You bring
I
up that show.
do
to me.
really want to talk about the sabers of that era, though, like the sabers and the religion itself.
Yeah.
if
so
you would ever allow
the
me
Jedi,
to.
Yeah, I will let you get. Yeah, so you actually bring up a great point because you do. Are you going to talk about the proto sabers that they? It wasn't a lightsaber first. The proto sabers that actually have a backpack that they had attached to. it.
Yeah, I really
Oh,
want to
yeah.
see that on the big screen. And okay, so stage combat, stage fighting, weapons, that's my bailiwick. I
Mhm.
really want to see them, one, use that, and two, I really want to see like the evolution of it. Not just the saber itself, but also the fighting and the code of the Jedi, like the religion itself.
Like how
I want to see it in its rawest form. I really want to see. I want to be like sitting there watching the show. I want to see them do something with the Force and
film.
be in what?
It's a film.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a film. Not a show.
fuck.
Oh,
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Damn.
oh, interesting. Okay. Anyways, moving on. As I was saying, I want to see them do something with the Force and me be like, that's new. That's different. Why'd they do it like that? I really love to see how different it becomes.
What?
You look like you just saw something really interesting, Shane.
Shane.
Please
Ken-
tell us.
Okay, Ken. Damn, you haven't watched the previous episodes. Okay, did not diverge off the topic of this yet, but we'll get into it later. Skeleton Crew is addressing a new form. Is going to be. It's a rumored leak that they're addressing a new type of Force users that use the Force very differently than Jedi and Sith.
That we
We'll
talked
get
about
to
this
that.
last week.
Oh,
We'll get
okay.
We'll get into that. We have talked
Yeah.
about it, but we'll get into
Talked
that.
about this last week. We'll
Okay.
get into that.
But so
Back to
brings up a
stage
great point.
combat.
Ken brings up a great point because I would love to see Shoto sabers. I think that's what they're called. I think they're called
Sabers.
they're called
Proto
proto
sabers.
Sabers.
So
Shoto
Proto
sabers.
Sabers.
It's very interesting what they used back then. I could see Disney decanonizing that and just doing lightsabers as usual, but I would
Yeah.
prefer to see the proto saber.
Yeah.
But Ken brings up a great point. It's the first Jedi. I want to see the Jedi code be built, you know, and like how they become who they are, how they create their code, you know, how this one Jedi somehow creates an order of 1,000. And mind you, this is going to be a film with actually no Sith, unless they change it again.
Yeah, because this is the first time that we just see the Force being used.
Yeah, the
like
Jedi,
I don't, as far as I know, there's no they don't know about the difference between light and dark yet.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
Revan-
the Force.
Revan I think this is weird to say, but like Revan has a quote that says basically along the lines of like, the Force was long here before the Jedi and Sith like broke
And
it
Sith.
kind of in the two. It will be here long after.
Yeah.
Basically, this
I
could be a
remember
Jedi who uses the dark side a little bit as well, because technically the dark side of the Force is the Force still. And the light side of the
So
Force
this
is
will
still
be
the
like the
Force.
first gray that we actually see.
Yeah,
But they
this
won't
could
be called a gray.
It could be the Jedi. It could be a Jedi balancing the lines of like what to use, what not
light
to
and
use,
dark.
all that good stuff. Because you're not going to see a Sith, because you have to have the Jedi Order gets built, and then the Sith come along after that. So basically,
after that.
Sith basically form it in the Jedi Order and then break away.
Yeah, it's like the Great Schism.
Yeah,
it's like Great Schism.
In a way, it's also kind of like how you said how they're building it. It starts off with one, and then they build it into this empire of thousands of Jedi. And in a way, it's kind of like how the samurai built their empire in the early stages of the samurai, where there's one dude, he writes the Bushido code, and then thousands of people follow that code. They literally get taught from the time that they're birthed to the time that they die that this is the way to live your life.
So, Ava, we're just talking about where we've transitioned to James Mangold directing about the First Jedi.
Ooh, okay.
So I could, this is a very big thing, and I think John needs the light now to talk about this. But you know, this is a big thing to talk about because it's the first Jedi ever. You know, Ken brought up the amazing point. I would love to see this Jedi find others like him to help train them, but like also like how are they going to build the order that we now know today? You know,
I feel like it's going to contain a lot of lore and a lot of world building, which is actually kind of why I feel like this would be better as a show than a movie. It gives it more screen time, more ability to stretch it out,
and be able to show more into it.
It'll be a lot less rushed. Sorry.
Yeah, but James Mangold is more of a film director, so you could see him doing like a trilogy of this. You know, it's all of how they want to do it.
It's
fair.
They could do it where they build a show off of the movie, like they did.
Like they did with Rogue One.
Yeah,
like they did with Rogue One, Clone Wars, and things like that. What, Shane? What?
I'm going to take this away from you, and we're now going to go to John. Thanks for your thoughts, buddy.
Okay, so what I feel like, to kind of add on to what Ken was saying, and you, Shane, I feel like what's happening is, so like the quote you said about Revan, where the Force was there long before the Jedi and Sith were there, and it will be there long after. I feel like what's happening is, in this movie, if they are going to lead it to where the Jedi start off, if they did make more movies, they would probably have it to where the Jedi start here, then the Sith come in, and then they, like, you figure out how they keep going against each other in the third movie if they made a third one. But like the Sith and the Jedi work together in the second one, then they split off and then cliffhanger it for a third movie. But I feel like what happened is, because of this being the start of the Jedi Order, and like what they were saying for that Revan quote, not all Jedi probably at the start knew the difference between dark and light. And what will happen is they use dark side abilities like Force Lightning, Force Choke, and all those abilities, but they use it to their own discretion.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more.
Or maybe that type of practice is banned, and that's how we get the Sith.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they like try to figure all that around into like a big ball.
Ava, to you now. All you.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, hi. All right. I want to see how and where like they how and where like they um uh they made the lines between light and dark. But like I would want to see how they separated the two, I guess. Because like what's it called? Because at first, like if it's a Jedi looking for more people like him, I don't think that they would really have like, okay, like that's a no, that's a good, like we do it like this. No, they would have to figure things out. Oh my gosh, is that Ben?
Ben.
Ben's here.
Where's
Ben
Ben?
is here.
Ben!
Ben.
I'm
Hello.
Ben!
Ben.
What's it called? But yeah,
Ben.
but I want to see how they started to figure out like what exactly the Force was and what was light and what was dark and like how they figured these things out. Like that is what like I would really love to see.
Yes. Okay, I just gotta address the comics. The reason why I was showing comments earlier is because it literally has just been me and Ben and Fluffy going 69, 66, 23, 53, 65, 87, 420, 6.9, 3.14, 475.
Why?
It just happens, just stuff happens, We're here to have fun. We're here to vibe and talk Star Wars stuff. That's what we're here. That's what this show is.
Fair enough. I don't understand the numbers, but okay.
Okay.
Fluffy's one of my boys.
It's a little confusing. And I don't know much about it either.
I do want to say this, and I think me and Chief already talked about this. We have.
Because I think we have.
We have
last week's episode?
No. What I'm about to say again, me and you and everybody else is about to get very happy. Have you noticed that we're starting to go back into the past?
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
Star Wars is really, Lucasfilm, I should say, and me and Chief have talked about this, because if they do this right, and they're testing the waters for fan reactions, you could be getting Old Republic soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh
Give me
boy.
some Revan films.
I think they're testing the waters. I mean, Chief have discussed about this before, because me and Chief did say this. Basically, if Ahsoka does really well and Acolyte does really well, Star Wars can branch into two different set-offs that go in two different directions, but cover the same ideas and storylines that we all love and know today. So the Acolyte does really well. More High Republic era content. You couldn't even get the Old Republic era content, and now this new confirmed film for the first Jedi, it can be the more confirming content of like, we're testing the waters to see how you're gonna take it, and then we'll build up to the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Because I understand why they're doing it now. Because I was like, why aren't they just doing the Old Republic era? It's them testing their waters to see how we're going to react to it, and maybe what changes they need to do along the way to see how we're going to like it,
I believe we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Acolyte has something like 8 hours of film already done, edited, produced,
and 4 episodes now ready to go.
Yeah,
Wow.
4 episodes already ready to go.
Gracious,
They
okay.
could split it. They could split it into 16 episodes, or they could do 4 episodes in the first season that are an hour long, and then they do it. Then they do a second season that's also hour-long episodes. But I couldn't.
It's most likely going to be an 8 episode.
Yeah,
Most
likely
like 4
going to be 8
episodes is too little, too few.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. This is all very exciting. I think we're all very excited about it's now. These projects suck because it sucks to talk about these type of projects, because as much as they were all confirmed, they're all being greenlit. They've all been technically, if you actually think about it, for a film to get to this stage of like, hey, we're doing this, they've already written it.
Oh, yeah.
They've already
been
much filmed it.
It's already been greenlit, and now they're going to move on to somewhat more writing it and producing it. The pitch has already been made. The greenlit has already been made. It sucks though, because shows, movies, stuff can easily, as much as they're created, can easily get destroyed and canceled. So stuff happens, but I'm very happy to see these films. And the next big one we're going to talk about, and I know Chief and I discussed about this beforehand, and he's not too excited.
I think it was last 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
me and Chief. So it's really funny that they're doing stuff that me and Chief have already technically been like, what if they do this? You know?
Yeah.
Which is very exciting news.
And they've confirmed some of the stuff that we have been talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
15 years later.
Context here.
15 years later.
Oh,
Rise of Skywalker, Rey training a new Jedi Order that will face foes that want to dismantle it.
I don't want to see this. I'm sorry. As we talked about this a little bit before. She has no training. She has no actual Jedi
Zero.
training.
nope.
Zip.
None.
Nothing.
Zero.
Well,
it might be a cool series or a movie depending on what it is.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Oh
I hate
God!
First year bubbles.
Of course,
Luke had no training.
He is right. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
No.
That is
I'm
true.
gonna throw a wrench into this.
He
Luke
didn't
had a-
have
I'm
that
throwing
much
wrenches.
training.
I'm throwing wrenches into everything today.
Luke had a bit
Yoda.
more training than Raiden.
Yoda was training.
Yeah,
Hey,
and an
hey,
actual better teacher.
hey,
Yes.
Leia was trained by Luke, and Leia trained Rey. That's Jedi training.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sent her
See,
to
but,
run in
like,
the forest, and she
We don't
failed
even
at
know
it.
what Leia is capable of. We've never seen Leia
Yeah,
fight
and
with a lightsaber.
you probably never will, but she beat Luke in a duel.
That is true.
There's-
She did
She
beat
tested
Luke
Luke
in
at the end of that
Ah,
duel.
Yeah, there's
yeah.
reasons.
No, I can't fight you on this.
Like Yoda has even told us like there can't be two at this time. There can't.
Yeah, but
There
here's the
can't be
thing.
two force sensitive beings in the same
Luke-
family from
Yeah.
right now.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Luke had training from Yoda, but if we look at Luke's training, at most a day, maybe a week long of training, and then he goes to face Vader, and he doesn't train for an entire year with Yoda ever again. At the end of during Return of the Jedi, you even hear him say, "I've come back to complete my training with you, Master Yoda," and Yoda's like, "I'm dying, boy."
Boy.
Wait,
Boy, I'm dying.
Wait,
dying.
I'm
Boy.
literally
Luke,
dying.
Luke,
I am made
Luke
of
never
ash.
completed his training. But
Wait.
here's the thing. I wasn't the bit. I first watched Rise of Skywalker, and then like 2-3 more times I watched it. And I'm like, damn, I don't like this film.
Nobody does.
Well, not. Well, actually, a lot of people still do. You know, some people do like the film, but like in my opinion, I have hope. You know, Daisy Ridley is a good actor. You know,
Oh yes.
They-
Oh yes.
this is a show that can somewhat redeem the sequels, but like push the forward of the events. You know, I want to see after. You know, and it's not like they're doing like this is 50 years later now. We have an entire new like stuff. They're like they're doing what they should have done with like Luke after Return of the Jedi. Like here's what he's doing now with the new Jedi Order. You know, all that good stuff. But like I'm really happy that they're giving this show a chance, this film maybe a chance. It's not been confirmed it's a show or film, you know. They're giving it a chance, and I would love to see it actually because one, you have Finn, who is force sensitive. You could see him as a Jedi being trained.
Should have been sooner.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Should have been at
You
the
know.
start of the movies.
But like,
I agree.
but like, I have to say, the counter argument is like Rey had no training, Luke had no training, and Luke he became Grand Master Jedi Order. He became one of the strongest Jedi ever, and is arguably one of the best. You know,
He had like no experience.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a wrench. I'm gonna
Bro,
throw a
the
wrench. into
Padawans
this.
from the prequels
Oh.
had more experience than he did.
who
I'm
was
gonna throw a wrench in
I got a
this.
hot take as well.
Do you
throw-
think he became a great Grandmaster Jedi because of Mara Jade? Because of his wife?
Yeah, but Mara Jade has never been confirmed for the sequels.
That's true.
She should have been.
I agreed.
Shut up.
She should have.
Okay, I
It's
have a hot
technically-
take for you after
It
Tuesday.
could be determined that she died before the sequel trilogy.
Okay, Johnny, go through my brother.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about how there was the movie that's coming out that's going to be like 25,000 years, so like start of the Jedi Order and everything.
Mhm.
What if in this scenario, because you know how like Rey and Rise of Skywalker use Force lightning, so she used the dark side, right? What if in this new order she sets up, she goes and does that and goes backwards, and then she uses dark and light combined into one to make
Ooh.
it
I like
one
what you're
specific
thinking.
order.
So
I love
she
you.
becomes the gray, like the first.
Exactly.
I
That's
like what
exactly what
I
I'm
like
saying.
what you're
Ken.
Like,
thinking,
I like
because
that.
If you
I like
think about
that.
it,
I like
if
that
you
a
think
lot.
about it, if you think about it, you're getting the first Jedi 25,000 years later, and now you're actually getting purely the last Jedi.
It's coming
The
full
last-
circle.
Exactly. That's
I
what I've
love
been trying
that.
to
Oh my
say.
God.
Okay, I like that.
Wait, that works
They're-
perfectly because
they're
that
both-
movie comes out and then that movie.
They're both having to
Mhm.
create the Jedi Order, rebuild the code.
And start over from scratch.
Yeah.
I like this. Okay.
I
You
want
know
to play
what?
devil's advocate here.
This is good planning. This is
Oh,
good
don't worry.
planning.
I'm
I like
playing
this.
devil's
Like,
advocate
that
right against you.
actually- Like, that actually
can't-
makes that film a whole
can't
lot
do it.
better now with that logic in mind.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Hit me with it.
That makes
Hit
me a
with it,
lot
Chief.
more excited.
Hit me with it, Chief. Come on, do it. Let's dance.
I don't like it.
Let's devil's advocate this together.
I don't like it.
I
How?
don't think it- That's
How?
all you gotta say? You don't like
How
it?
of someone with little to no knowledge of
Luke
the dark
Skywalker.
side?
Mom,
Hi, Kiss Mom.
I guess, Mom.
Oh my god.
I evacuated her as
came
fast
through.
as possible.
I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't.
I know,
It's
but hey,
how with someone with little to no knowledge of the dark side of the Force rebuild an entire empire. Well, empire. An entire Jedi empire and be like, "Hey, I'm doing this now." Nobody's going to believe her. If anybody like looks into it, like looks really 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 deep and is just like, that's not that, no.
it's like come out and saying, "Hey, I'm Jesus. What's up?"
Exactly.
no.
She's
Exactly.
basically playing Jesus. Kind of.
I agree. It's a hard stance. I think it's more of along the lines of it's playing off of like the first Jedi, now the last Jedi, rebuilding the Jedi Order, creating the code again, all that good stuff. You know.
I could see it, but once again, I don't like it. I don't.
I
I'm
do
sorry.
have some things to say about this. All right. So, with Luke, I don't know, like, where he was the whole year, like, that he kind of just took off. Except, but in that time, he got a new outfit, he got a new lightsaber. So I'm thinking that, like,
Blow
when he
up.
went off, he learned things, like,
Yeah.
in that time off. But, like, that's what I'm thinking, which also could have helped a lot, like, with his, like, with his knowledge, like, and his training and shit. Now with Rey, I don't like that she was the only one that made it out. I don't like it because she is a Palpatine, and that feels like a slap in the face. Hang on, because it's like,
Shane, I saw that smirk. I
I hate you. I fucking hate you.
You're such a
I don't know if I'm
Palpatine
allowed
guy.
to curse on this, but I hate you. Okay, listen, no, but it feels like that everything that it feels like that everything that Anakin, like Obi-Wan, Padme, Ahsoka, Luke, Leia, Han, and everything, it feels like everything they fought for was for absolutely nothing because a Palpatine still came out on top and is the only one left to. And now it's up to a Palpatine to remake everything,
Well,
and that just feels wrong. And I feel,
I'll devil's advocate against you.
Where did you
The
come from?
only hang on, can I throw
The
something in
window.
here before you do that, Shane?
Okay, I'm gonna throw a wrench in both your logic.
Wait,
Go.
hang
Okay.
on. Wait, hey, okay, okay, well, Chief, let go because like that I have some more to add on to this.
The only reason why Luke got a new outfit and a new lightsaber was because it contrasted with the sky too much.
That's true.
Literally, yeah.
That's
is
the
true.
only reason he got a new outfit.
They put him
and a
in
new
black and gave him a
lightsaber.
green lightsaber so that they could
That's-
like
that's-
CGI whatever the
literally-
hell.
no, no,
Okay, but
literally,
lore wise,
literally.
but
Blue
lore
sky.
wise.
Literally, how the green lightsaber got founded was it was a blue background. Shit, we can't do the blue. We got green available. Cool. Okay, we're gonna do green. You know, we got black. Okay, we're gonna do some black. And then the purple lightsaber is basically created by basically them saying Samuel Jackson being like, "I want purple." Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
He
But
was
they came
quite
up
literally
lore-wise.
just being like, hey, George Lucas, is purple available? And George Lucas went, we could see
You
if
might
we can
get
get you a
purple.
purple one.
You might get purple.
I love the Attack of the Clones behind the scenes film. That is like my favorite thing of all time.
Okay.
Is
I
that
The
because
Okay.
that's
Hang on,
the thing
hang
where
on.
he's like,
Yes.
hey, can I get a
Hang
purple one?
I want.
Hang on.
Let's
Can
let's
I
have it.
continue? Wait, what's Shane?
I'm letting you continue. Go.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay. What I think should have happened in those films, because again, it feels like a slap in the face. And I don't like it because like it feels so wrong. But what I think should have happened is that Ben should have been basically like the embodiment, like all of the pain and the trauma and the suffering and the confusion and the manipulation and the torment that like the like that basically like Anakin and Luke went through. And Ray, like in Ray, should have been like the like embodiment of like everybody who tried to help them. And so then finally, when like the person they loved is they're dead, Ben should have been like able to finally do what like Anakin and Luke could not, and save both himself and the person he loved from dying. And then like they should have gone on to remake the new Jedi Order together. And what the fuck are you guys doing?
Sorry, I'm listening. I am
I
listening.
knew it.
I am
listening. I didn't even
I just
see
saw
that.
Shane and I was like, what the fuck?
All right.
But yeah, but that's what I feel like should have happened is
Yeah.
that a closure should have happened like for like the last what
Look,
6
I
films.
want to. I need
Mm-hmm.
to say this as well. Is the sucky thing is we're not here to talk about what ifs.
Bruh.
We're not.
Vampire, though.
And I will admit I agree with you, Ava. I think we all agree. There's so much they could have done better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we're not going to talk about something with us. We're trying to talk about what this now can be, you know. And a point that you brought up was it's a Palpatine now left.
Yep.
I want to say this though, we've learned throughout Star Wars, your name, who you are, you're not determined by your name. You're determined by who you are in this galaxy.
It's such a
Yeah.
Shakespeare thing.
It's such a
What
very
is in a
like
name? A rose is still a rose. Called anything else would smell just as sweet.
yeah. Your name is still changed, and we may not all like it, or many of us may not like it. She grew up and was raised by the Skywalkers. Leia, we didn't see what happened that year. Leia was like her mother for her. Han was kind of like the father type deal, you know?
For like
All
a year.
Yeah. She was technically grew up with this family that she never like had, you know?
Yeah.
So like, in my opinion, she should have taken on a different name, but still, she's not a Palpatine. She's not defined by what that man did, you know, what that awesome man did with this.
He's
but
I
Wrinkle.
am this.
but
Great.
we're not.
Oh, shut up.
But we're not here. But like the thing is that this show has a lot of promise because there's a lot we can do with it, and there's a lot what can become of it now. You know,
That's true.
this is somewhat a clean slate. This is a new beginning. You know, for Daisy Ridley as technically, get ready for this, Grand Master of the Jedi Order.
I like that. I like that.
You know, so I do want to say this. Many of us don't like the sequels. You know, or we like. For me, you like up to 8, and then you don't like 9.
I love the
there's-
fighting. The fighting
parts
is really
of
good.
that.
I will give it that. The fighting is
For-
great.
I like
Well,
some
some of us-
parts of the films. Like I
So
don't like I don't like it as a whole, but I like some parts of it.
So for
Whoever just put that in the chat, shut up.
If I
Right.
hate you, why?
but there's
That was me.
there's a lot of things. But I think we all have to do is many people didn't like the prequels when they came out. Now they're one of the most beloved franchises of all time. We have to give this film / show, whatever it can be, at least a chance to somewhat even redeem what could have been,
True.
So it's all going into that,
Oh my god, I'm
I
sorry.
think it's just a matter of how they're gonna do it. That is the main question.
I just had a flashback. I wrote a paper I wrote a psychology paper about the first 30 minutes of Attack of the Clones.
As you do.
It was weird. It was weird, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to how you did that.
So
I'll have to pull it up and show it to you sometime.
All right, bet.
So with that, there's a very now interesting direction where Star Wars is going, because the end of the Mandoverse, all these shows are coming to an end before the sequel trilogy. That is now coming to an end in the next maybe 3 years or so. You never know. It could continue. I could be wrong. That's all coming to an end. We are now moving into the direction of what happened for the events of our lovely saga, and now what's happening to the events after the saga we love so much. Because we still have Andor season 2 still coming out.
Yes. Can we talk about that?
So, yes, we're going to talk about some of the leaks. We're going to briefly do this because me and Chief are going to get screamed at.
Yep.
We're a little bit over time.
So usually these episodes are supposed to be around an hour long.
We're now at an hour and 10.
We're now at an hour and 10.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We do have something in
real
19 minutes.
Real quick.
Yeah, good point.
We're not going to get yelled at. That was a joke. Our boy loves us, but we're going to get the short in this episode. Hey, it's actually redeemed. Hey, actually, Chief, we just redeemed last week's episode. We ended 10 minutes early. Now we're going 10 minutes over.
10 minutes over?
There we go.
All right, but we're just gonna speed run this real quick. Kind of. Let's talk about Andor season 2's leak trailer. The leakness of that trailer, what they've kind of talked about, what's going on. Kenny, if you want to take us away, you're eager to get into it.
I'm excited to see more of the characters that were introduced in that series, and 2, I want to see what happens to them. Like a lot of the Imperial characters, I really want to see what goes on with them, because we were left on a big cliffhanger. We were left on a really big cliffhanger on that last episode. I really want to see where it picks up. Shane, I know you are simping for that Imperial woman so hard.
She has my heart.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
But I really want to see more of her. I really want to see more of the other guy. I can't remember what his name was. Basically the one that followed her around like a lovesick puppy. Yeah, him. That one. Fun fact. Took
Like
a
you
quote
flew
from
like a Shane in
that season
disguise.
in that series and actually put it in my yearbook. Super happy about that.
So
yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. Who wants to jump in on this?
I haven't seen Andor.
Same.
What are you doing?
Oh!
That's just you. Let's talk. You've seen Andor, right, Johnny?
Yes, I have. Okay, so for Andor season 2, I feel like it's going to be a good setup to have it to where you have basically how it left off, where he's kind of learning what kind of people he should trust and what kind of person he wants to be. I feel like how that could lead up on how he gets tied into Rogue One on like being the spy and stuff and joining the rebellion could be like he kind of goes more in detail and kind of goes and gets associated with some people that are in the rebellion, and then how that works on as it progresses from there on like his beliefs towards the rebellion.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll also see how he gets to meet K2SO.
Yes. That too.
Because I was expecting that in the first season, and it never happened. So I'm hoping that this is the season we get that.
So
I was expecting that on the beach.
Season 2 will end with the opening scene of Rogue One.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Repeat what you said again? I didn't catch
Season
that.
2 will open up with season 2 will end with the opening of season 2 will open up with the beginning scene of Rogue One, like how Rogue One ended with the opening scene of New Hope.
So wait, time
It
out.
will-
It will open.
Season 2 will end with Rogue One's with Rogue One starting.
Okay, the last episode of season
that makes
2
sense.
will open up, and then it'll lead right into Rogue One.
Yes. So
Makes
I'm
sense,
excited for
yep.
Andor. I was a big Andor fan. It's a great show. If you haven't watched it, it's being
Simp.
it's being no, just like it's being slept on. It really is being a slept on show.
It really
because
is.
It's a very, very good show.
I need
Like-
to take the time to watch
Like
it.
someone brought this up to me. They actually kind of like show the danger of getting hit by a fucking blaster bolt, you know? Like you can see them like how dangerous this is, like the task they're doing. This is like a dark time. This is there. Me and Chief have always said this a lot. Ken has said this. I know a lot of us said this. This is a time there are no heroes. Both sides are equally as bad as the other. They're both doing acts against each other to balance the like. I'm sorry for all you Rebellion fans. The Rebels are terrorists, actually. Like most of this,
They're
And the
They-
Empire is evil.
Yeah.
they took
You're
no
totally
no
right. They really
they're
are.
They are.
killing
They
Imperials,
took-
but they're killing civilians as well.
they took
They
a
are.
stable government and threw a wrench into it.
And
But
then
the
just
Empire
made it
was still
unstable.
Really like
evil.
that phrase.
Like the Empire was
Yes.
still evil.
So
Love throwing wrenches.
at the core, the Empire is evil. I will agree with you on
Your
that.
improvised weapon
But
of
the
choice.
government of the Empire
My
did
wrench
more
here.
what the Republic
I
could
used to
never
have a
do.
wrench in my
It was still evil though, because also was like they were still doing like horrible things like on the side and everything. But I'm not gonna get into this now because what's it called? I don't want y'all to go over time.
We're short on time.
So after that, let's go into just the next leaked one we got. Well, I think we've already talked about it. Skeleton Crew got a leak trailer. Nothing too big. They're basically just reaffirming the ideas what we've already got of like how they're basically just
What's
reaffirming the
that?
ideas of their kids lost in space and how they're addressing the new force users that we're possibly going to get in the Star Wars universe in the unknown regions. You know,
Mm-hmm.
all
I
that
throw
good stuff.
something? Can I throw
Yeah, go
something
for
into here? There's a character in the trailer with 2 metal feet.
Thought it was Saw Gerrera.
It could be Saw Gerrera.
Young Saw Gerrera? Like maybe
It
child
could be.
Saw Gerrera?
It could be.
It
I
takes
know,
place
I know.
5 years after Return
I
of the
know.
Jedi.
It can't
He's
be.
dead.
I know.
Okay, never mind
But
then.
who
Ended.
who else in this entire Star Wars universe has 2 metal feet?
It's like saying
As
who else
far
is
as
Star-
we
it's
know,
like who's-
no one, but there are a lot of people in the Star
It's
Wars
like a
universe.
Oh!
Not
it's
been
like
given
it's
screen
like
time.
if a purple lightsaber igniting, be like, everybody be like, oh my god, it's Mace Windu.
No.
There's other people who have purple lightsabers.
Thank you.
Oh, like okay, like that is true. Like that's fair enough.
There are a lot of
Um,
people with prosthetic limbs in the
yes.
Star Wars
Oh, you
universe.
know-
Do you know how
Exactly.
easily
Like
those
we
get
saw
lost
like in the book of
in this
Boba
universe?
Fett.
You could say like
Found
just
Pokemon.
because he has robotic legs, you could be like, oh my god, that's Darth Vader right there.
As far as
That's
we know, that could be
literally
a
how it
droid.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
It's not
No.
Saw Gerrera. It's
It's
It's not
True.
Saw Gerrera.
We've
Like,
already
so
talked about
saw
Skeleton Crew.
If it is, I will literally.
That
I
will break a
say
lot
you
of
were right.
things.
I will say you were right.
So
and if you
here's the
were
thing.
You want to give me money on that one?
Skeleton Crew. I will actually bet you money. How about that? I will bet you money.
I
Okay.
can't.
Skeleton Crew.
I don't want to.
You're gonna
make
be
that bet
eating
with you
those
'cause
words,
I will
Shane, in a
lose.
bit.
Skeleton
Oh.
Crew. There's not a lot to go off of besides children lost in space. Me and Chief talked about this. What's his name again? The actor.
Jude Law.
Jude Law somehow got
They-
inspired.
They sat that man down in a room and
Dude.
said, "Hey, we have your wife and kids hostage. If
You're
you
gonna be
don't
a
act
star,
in this
so-
series, we're going to kill them."
Yeah, literally,
Wow.
literally, me and Chief did the voice of Mickey Mouse going, "Oh, you're gonna fucking act in my movie."
It was the other line was, I took this off of a comedy special. It was just fucked up you did.
Yes,
Oh my
literally.
God.
Jude Law. I don't know how they got Jude Law, but
I don't.
I don't know how. I don't know how that conversation went. Like, hey, we got an idea. I don't know how that conversation went. I don't know how they did it. But here's the thing.
Someone needs to ask him how they
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. But yeah, Skeleton Crew's not a lot to go off of.
You join.
We're still actually waiting for the confirmed trailer. We're still waiting for that because always leaked trailers will never be as the same as the trailer they drop.
True.
But I think the big one is Acolyte looks amazing.
Mhm.
Yes.
100%.
We've talked about
Don't
this.
give it a lot of insight into that though.
Yeah, they don't give a lot of insight into it. Besides, they're really talking about the Force, and the Force is a very powerful ally. Me and Chief have already talked about this as well, but Acolyte is basically like, I don't know if you and most. It's kind of like what they're doing like a true detective show. Basically, there's dark side events and dark things happening in the galaxy that two Jedi, like a couple Jedi, are investigating. You know.
Yeah.
So
If you want to learn more about
Does this take
I
place
think
in
our
the prequels then?
yes.
Yeah.
This is before
Okay.
the prequel. This is at the end of the High Republic era.
It's like
And the High Republic-
200 years before.
Oh,
Yeah, at the
okay.
end
I
of
was
the
just
High
as confused as you were.
the height of the High Republic era is basically Jedi are at the prime of their existence. They're
Mhm.
like basically like actually doing what a Jedi should be doing.
Yeah.
So like I've told Chief this because they basically in that show they confirmed if we're going to be on Coruscant, the Jedi Temple. You could see young Grandmaster Yoda, like
Ooh,
So
would be
young
so
Yaddle?
cool.
Young
see-
Yaddle!
me and Chief have also talked about this, and Ava would like this. Plo
Who was
Koon.
played by Bryce
Plo
Dallas
Koon.
Howard.
Yes.
Plo
Yeah.
Koon is
So far.
Plo Koon is like
Yes,
300.
please.
Yeah.
Plo Koon is like 300 during the events of Clone Wars. He could be like
Yeah.
he's like 100 during the
Our-
events.
He's
of the High Republic.
old.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Keldor,
Plo Koon
Keldor
and
years are
Yoda's species can get like really old.
yeah.
I was not aware of
Keldor
that.
years
Good to
are
know.
very, very similar to Earth years.
Yeah.
They range about a month-ish off. That would make him around 360 to 400 years old.
So like if we enter the Star Wars universe, we may consider ourselves like 18, 19, 20, 23, all that good years. But like for someone else, we could be like 200 years old for them.
Yeah.
It's like Yoda's
Time
species.
Lords of the
Yoda's,
Star Wars
yeah.
universe.
But there's a so Acolyte. You don't see the trailers. We have to see them because we thought we were gonna have enough time to address them. But Acolyte looks really good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Looks
Good stuff.
amazing.
You know, so it's not big news, but like we've already talked about. If you want to check that episode, me and Chief, I think it was our second episode. We talked about Acolyte. Very good because if Acolyte, like I've talked about, we've already addressed it here again. We'll address it again right now. If Acolyte does really well, it's basically the hinge point to go back into the Old Republic era or do more High Republic stuff.
Oh my god.
Good point.
If they do
Because-
High Republic stuff, more of it. I mean,
Me and Chief have talked about this as well because if they
it's
do
like our
Old Republic
episode,
stuff-
like what, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, if they do Old Republic stuff, basically you get the idea of like if they do Old Republic stuff, you won't just see lightsaber duels. You'll see entire armies of Jedi and Sith on a battlefield killing each other.
Good point.
I like it.
I want to see Old Republic massive battles like Prince Arkin and that
Oh,
type of
yes.
vibe with to see like a live action version of Arkin would be fucking awesome.
You could get the Eternal
That would-
Empire and Valkorian.
We could also see no, never mind.
Yeah.
I was
But-
thinking of the thing that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago with the invasion force. And I
Yeah,
was
so
like,
that's what's gonna
no.
happen.
No.
It was a fun little idea in theory.
Yeah.
that I had, you know. But we have officially 20 minutes over. That's the end of our episode, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were happy to have you
No.
today. We were happy to have you today. I think me and Chief are going because we didn't get to talk about it as much, and we could have these three lovely guests join us again. I think we are going to be talking. We're going to be addressing the stuff that's already happened in Celebration because we still have a couple more days of Celebration to go. So our next flag will be about Star Wars Celebration and probably the Mando episode. But we're going to be probably addressing these three main topics of the Rise of Skywalker 15 years later, the endgame style of the Mandoverse film, and the First Jedi film. We probably will readdress these again in another episode because we didn't just have enough time to address it. And they're really interesting ideas and good topics. But we had an amazing episode today.
Talked about Ahsoka for a long time.
We did. And it sucks because I had to disappear halfway through that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it's okay.
We led the
Stuff-
conversation. It was
Yeah,
all good.
stuff happens, and but so we're happy to have you today. I was happy to have all my lovely, beautiful faces of guest stars here today. We had Ken, John, Ava, and of course the beautiful co-host Chief. You know, but we're gonna hit with the outro. So let's get right into this. So, obviously, my name is Shane, your host, King Faye. You can find me at King Faye Official all that good stuff. Basically, just take my username on here and just throw an official at the end. You can find all the stuff that will lead into everything else. Chief, where can they find you at?
Hi, I'm Chief. You can find me at all capitals except the X, Chief X Hawk and or Chief X Nightmare. Pretty much everywhere. I'm not on TikTok. I apologize. I deleted that app. My Discord server is not in my bio, but I will throw that in there.
Real quick, I want to say this quick. This comment said, I missed everything. Do not worry. As much as this is a live review, the episode will immediately save on our YouTube. So you can go back and watch the entire episode and see all of our shenanigans. Sorry, Chief.
Capital Chief X Hawk, pretty much everywhere. And yeah, excited to be on for another episode. Excited for next week when we're talking about more stuff. And yeah,
right.
Take it away, Ken.
Me? Okay. Well, you can find me at General Kenobi on TikTok. I'm not that active on Instagram. Probably. I don't know. That's about it. Yeah.
John, where can they find you?
They can find me on TikTok after my name. It's jb.sws. That's my TikTok username. And my socials are, they're not the same, but I will put that out there if anyone would like to add me on social media. I have multiple platforms. So
yeah.
You can also add me on Discord. It's the same thing. And then it's hashtag 2750.
And Ava, take it away with that ending.
Chaotic Egg on the on the YouTubes, on the Twitch, on the Insta, and on the Tiki Talks. Like if you find me, that's great. And I'm the only egg. Keep that in mind.
And I like to say, everybody, so we do also, I usually like to say you can find me at my Discords and all that, and TikTok and all that. Today we have some very exciting news. If you actually go into the description of this video, you can see the links for Star Wars Unity and Sundari Broadcast System, where you can actually meet us there, talk to us live, ask the same questions that you probably didn't get to address here on the comments. But we are there, or maybe you couldn't miss the live and you're rewatching this right now. You can definitely find us at Star Wars Unity in the Discord below, and Sundari Broadcast System, where both me and Chief will be at, and then John, Ken, and Ava will also be in Star Wars Unity if you want to ask them any questions about their thoughts and ideas on this stuff. Once again, thank you for everybody that tuned in later. Happy to have you. Always love to see those familiar faces and good faces as well. But hey, everybody, have a great rest of your day. Take care, and we'll see you all next week, Friday at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Western and Eastern Standard Time.
Night, guys.